Hey guys, welcome to Little Angel Reads. Today's story is Lotti and the Christmas Wreath by Rose Bakewell and illustrated by Joan LaRoche. Let's get started. It was a busy Christmas Eve in the Montgomery household. Lotti and Brody were helping Mommy prep Christmas lunch for the next day while Daddy was playing peekaboo with Kingsley. I've rinsed all the fruits and vegetables, Brody said. Is there anything else you'd like me to do? I think we've covered everything, Mommy replied. All we need to do is make the pavlova, and everything else can be made tomorrow morning. I'm sure Lotti would do a much better job in making that than I would, he said, giving Mommy a hint. Mommy knew Brody's mind was on the new video game Grandpa Leo had given him as an early Christmas gift. All right, she said, you can run along and play. Thank you, Brody exclaimed and ran to the family room to grab his remote controls. Lotti, would you like to help me make the pavlova? Asked Mommy. Pavlova was one of Lottie's favorite desserts. She loved the crisp meringue shell and gooey marshmallow center. She had helped Mommy make pavlova enough times to know what to do. I have a better idea, Lotti said. May I make it all by myself? Mommy thought it was wonderful that Lotti wanted to challenge herself, so she brought the mixer to the counter and wrote the recipe and method on a sheet of paper for Lotti to follow. It read, separate the egg yolks and whites. Store the yolks in the refrigerator. Whisk the egg whites on high speed until it forms soft peaks. With the mixer on medium speed, add the sugar 1 tablespoon at a time, waiting 3 seconds in between adding each spoonful. Mix the vinegar and cornstarch in a small bowl and stir it into the glossy meringue mix. Lotti followed the instructions and then scooped heaping spoonfuls of the meringue onto the baking sheet, covered with parchment paper. She smoothed it into a large circular ring and made a trench in the meringue with a small spatula. That looks perfect, Mommy said as she walked by. I'll pop it in the oven and you can go play. I made the pavlova all by myself, Lotti said, gleaming at Brody, who was focused on the video game. Cool, he said, without taking his eyes off the TV. Can I play too, she asked. Lotti was having so much fun that she forgot to check the pavlova and went straight to bed after the game. The next morning, Lotti woke up bright and early, but had a strange feeling there was something she was forgetting. My pavlova, she shrieked, running to the kitchen. Lotti opened the door, and the once smooth and shiny white meringue had now lost its shine and had small cracks. It's ruined. I've ruined Christmas dessert, she thought. In a panic, she gathered the ingredients to make another pavlova before anyone else would be up. But the clinging and clanging of the bowls had woken up Mommy, and she came downstairs to see what the commotion was all about. Lotti felt awful about ruining the dessert and for attempting to cover it up by making a new one. She broke into tears and told Mommy what had happened and how very sorry she was about everything. Oh, sweetheart, Mommy comforted her. You haven't ruined anything. The pavlova turned out lovely. But I forgot about it in the oven, Lotti murmured, and now it has cracks all over it. Well, aren't you lucky then to have a mother who always keeps an eye on the oven? Mommy teased. Sometimes, she continued, small cracks are just part of the charm of pavlova. Once you cover it with the cream and fruits, nobody will notice them. Mommy explained how allowing the pavlova to cool in the oven is actually better to prevent the sudden temperature change from shocking the meringue and causing it to crack even more. As for secretly trying to make a new pavlova, it was quick thinking. But you could have just come to me. Everyone makes mistakes, and it's okay to ask for help, she said. Lotti was embarrassed for not being honest, but felt relieved that she could always ask for help without being judged. After breakfast, Lotti decorated the pavlova. First, she used the hand mixer to whisk the heavy cream until it was thick and fluffy. Then she filled the trench with whipped cream and placed some strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries on top. Mommy, Lotti called out, it sort of looks like a wreath. It does, Mommy agreed. Lotti added some currants and mint leaves and gave it a quick dusting of powdered sugar to make it look like freshly fallen snow. It truly looked like a Christmas wreath. Guests arrived one after the other, and soon the entire house was full of family members enjoying Christmas lunch together. Granny Beth, Grandpa Will, Aunt Emily, Uncle Henry, Grandma Jane, Grandpa Leo, Uncle George, Cousin Mary, Cousin Annie, Auntie Isla, and Cousin Nick. Got their whole dinner ready. Should we bring out the dessert? Mommy whispered to Lotti. Lotti nodded and helped get the plates and utensils. Everyone gasped. Oh, Catherine, you've outdone yourself, Granny Beth said, gazing at the dessert. Actually, Mommy said proudly, it was Lotti. She made it herself. Lotti took a bite of her pavlova. The crisp meringue melted in her mouth, and the middle was soft and marshmallowy, just as it should be. Everyone enjoyed Lottie's creation, especially Kingsley. Is it yummy, Kingsley? Lotti asked her baby brother. Yummy, payuba, Kingsley said, delighted. The sweet meringue and tart berries go perfectly together, said Grandma Jane. It looks like Lottie will be making the Christmas dessert from now on, Grandpa Will added. Lottie looked around and was overjoyed at what a success her Christmas wreath had turned out to be. I sure will, Lottie responded as she took another bite. Here's about the author. Rose Bakewell is happily married to her husband, and together they have 3 beautiful children and an adorable dog named Ollie. Rose loves British history and is an award-winning author. She is an avid baker who was chosen to be a contestant on the Great American Baking Show in England and is the founder of Mrs. Bakewell's, the cream tea company. Her inspiration for the Lotti book series is derived from her love of baking and wanted to create a comfy, cozy feeling for those who read her books. And it comes with a wreath template to make the pavlova, which is pretty cool. And it comes with a recipe card. It's a very cool book. I hope you enjoyed this story, and maybe you could try making pavlova at home as well. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.